Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today's video is about the update 8.5 and a really big issue that happened with this update. So I'm sure all of you knew about the new credit system, the new economy coming to Blitz in the update 8.5. Obviously, we were all super excited for this, like, yay, we're not going to lose credits as much anymore. Our credits aren't going to go negative anymore. It's all going to be fixed. I'm sure most of you have noticed by now, yeah, no. Something happened in the update, and let's just take a look here. Not the tier 6, because that's different. Let's just take a look here. Vickers 105. 13,000 credits. You know, you're like, okay, you went up in credits that game, but look what I had to do. Use no consumables that game, and I still only made 13,000 credits. No camouflage, no consumables, no premium shells, nothing, and I only made 13,000 credits. Let me look at another example here. This grill doesn't count. I got nuked in the beginning of the game. Here's a win in the Tiger 2. 18,000 credits right there with 11,000 from the booster right there. If I didn't have that, I would have only made 7,000 credits. And now these really, honestly, aren't the best examples. All my good examples are, like, not on this page anymore. But a lot of the times, you'll be going negative in the credits. These are all with boosters. I had boosters going in all these battles, so we're not going to look at those. Anyway, I'm sure most of you know what happened. None of these battles are good examples, dang it. Basically, Wargaming obviously tested in the previous updates a new economy where you did not have to pay for tank repairs or ammunition resupply. But to keep it where you weren't actually earning more credits, you were earning the same amount on average, just not going negative because you wouldn't have as many subtracted, you just wouldn't earn as many, but you still have stuff subtracted for consumables and provisions. Honestly, it doesn't make that much sense, but apparently it dropped by like 5 or 10% the amount of battles that were going negative in the credits. But that never took into account. These are all low tier tanks, like 1 through 5. If you go to tier 5, let's look at tier 5. This gargoyle, for example, you go to consumables. Oh, like 500 for each. Provisions. Oh, like 500, 200 for each. Okay. Then you go to tier 8, tier 10, any of these tiers, and you look at the provisions and consumables on these tanks, like the Chimera, a tank that's made to have a lot of these stuff. Oh, 3,000, 5,000, 3,000, oh, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, and that's just tier 8. You go to tier 10, and you're looking at ridiculous amount for all of these. 7,000, 4,000, 4,000. 7,000 for these, 4,000 for those. And then you go to tanks that obviously basically were made to have you use these consumables to make the tank to its full potential, like a perfect tank here, the 60 TP. 8,400, 7,500, 4,500. You're supposed to use generally at least both of these each game, probably going to need one of these, and then you're probably going to use one of these another time. That's like, what is that, 8,000, I mean, that's like 14, 20, that's like 25, 30,000 credits if you use that many consumables, and that's just like what you're supposed to use. Obviously, most of the time, I don't do that, because even before this update, you still lost a lot of credits. I usually only use, like, each of these once, maybe Adrenaline twice at most, but usually each of these once, and maybe that if I need to, obviously. And that's obviously a lot less. That's only like 20,000 or something, you know, 15, 20,000. And then the same goes for provisions. You're 7,500, 5,000, 2,000. Like, that is a lot of credits compared to the tier 5. So basically, what I believe we figured out, what went wrong, was Wargaming never took into account the vast difference between consumables and provision prices from tier 5 to tier 10. In all of these different tiers, on Tech Tree tanks at least, you still made about the same amount of credits on every battle. Like, it wasn't that big of a difference. I'm pretty sure the credit coefficient doesn't really change that much. So when they changed it down there, they changed it obviously a massive amount. But since you barely subtract, you know, like, let's say like 2,000 for provisions and consumables, like 2,000 for that, compared to the like 20 to 30,000 for the tier 10s. That is a 15, 20,000 credit difference. And then if you subtracted that where you average like losing like 10,000 a battle here, you're supposed to be gaining like 10,000 to like 15,000 at tier 10. That's what they meant for stuff to happen. But obviously it went wrong, and they forgot to take into account consumables and that, how much more they cost. And so you now go negative on most of your tier 10 battles. anytime you use consumables, you pretty much always go negative, which is very bad for the game, especially free-to-play players who don't have many premium tanks. You basically have to play a premium tank now to earn credits. Before, you didn't have to play a premium tank to earn credits, but now you have to play a premium tank to earn credits, which is really rough for a lot of those free-to-play players out there. So I really hope Wargaming buffs the credit coefficient by 10-20% on, or however much they nerfed it. Basically, like, go back up, like, probably like 60-70% of that, and then I think it will be fixed, and we won't be going negative in the credits as much as we are now. So yeah, that is the main issue with what has happened, so all of you guys know basically why you're losing credits every single battle, pretty much where you use your consumables now. And yeah, the way I would say just to try to not lose credits on your non-premium tanks and still, you know, be in the positive of credits, or at least not lose any, obviously try to use as few consumables as you can in the battle, stuff like adrenaline, and then if you're in a tank with a speed boost or tungsten shells, anything like that, try to not use that much. And then as well, if you're in a tank with very expensive consumables, if you don't notice too much of a difference in how effective your tank is, you can try to maybe put those down to the lower ones that don't cost as much, and you'll be saving, if you do that, probably like 10 to 15,000 credits every battle, which will probably, if you're losing like 5-10,000 every battle, you'll go into the positive now if you do that. So that's kind of the temporary fix. Obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to play our tanks to their best with, you know, using as many of those consumables as we can and stuff to have better, you know, statistics and stuff. So hopefully Wargaming fixes this in update 8.6. I'm sure they have realized what happened did not go the way they meant for it. And so hopefully they should fix it. Obviously, a big outcry from the community to fix it, so I'm sure they will. If they went back on ATGMs, I'm sure they'll go back on this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys aren't losing too many credits out there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.